All right, y'all. Okay, it took me a little bit of time to get cleaned up, and actually, I have a confession. I went ahead and did the driver's side. I got into it and thought, I probably ought to give this a test run before I put it on camera. So at least I'm not a total buffoon fumbling around trying to figure this stuff out. None of this was available when I raced before. I mean, wheel bearings, yeah, that was something you did on a regular basis. However, the bearing spacer aspect was not. You would set your bearing preload with the least that you could get away with for free rolling, and you sent it and you went with it the way it was. It is what it is. Times have changed. Somebody has figured out a way of doing this. So we have, well, I say we, the racing community has figured it out. So I went ahead while we were at the Charlotte Racers Expo a month or so ago. I went ahead and bought bearing spacers because I've been looking. When I talked to Mr. Teston, the last racer that owned this car, about the car, I asked him if it had bearing spacers on it. He said not that he knew of, unless somebody put them on. He says, but by the looks of things, I'm going to say it doesn't. Well, he's 100% right. That side over there does not. And in all honesty, it doesn't look like this grease has been touched in a couple of years. It is this thick, gooey, tar-like substance that I guess is supposed to be grease. You know how that goes. So it takes a little while to get the old stuff cleaned out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this hub with you guys here so you can see what comes out of it, and then we'll get everything cleaned up. In the meantime, I've got some cardboard thrown down here. I've got an old t-shirt down here, so I have somewhere to put stuff. I've got a tub or a bucket of solvent over here for cleaning parts with a scrub brush in it, so that as stuff comes out of the hub, I just throw it right directly into the solvent, let it start soaking, let the solvent start doing its job, breaking down the goo that's in here. Then we'll go back and wash everything up. But in the meantime, let me get you guys turned around here so that you can see what's in here, and I'll set the camera up while I'm doing this. So y'all sit tight. Let me get you flipped around here. So here's the right side hub. Let me get tools here. Pull the two screws out. Well, this one don't want to cooperate right off the bat. That's not good. There we go. And as you can see, I'm having to hold with one hand and work with the other. So if the camera bounces around, you'll have to, I'm going to go ahead and apologize now. I'm sorry. And of course, everybody sees the gloves. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, greasy, nasty. But when it comes to wheel bearing grease, put on a pair of gloves. It just makes cleanup a whole lot easier when it comes time to take this off. Now, all that being said, I've already got the brake rotor or the brake caliper and whatnot off. Make sure you save your spacers so you know where they go when the time comes. There. And get this spacer off here. This spacer's not wanting to cooperate. I guess it's been here a while. Well, let's get a screwdriver instead. Oh! Alright. Well, I'm glad the other side wasn't this difficult. Good gravy. Yeah. You can see how gooey this crap looks. So we'll just go ahead and throw it right in there. Let's get our hub socket set up here. There. Hopefully y'all can see this. And you can just feel the difference. So, I mean, this stuff is just super thick, super gooey. And it is not happy right now. Yeah. There. There it is. Yeah, you can see how gooey and stringy this jizz is. I mean, it's just nasty. So I'll set you down here. First bearing out. Yeah. It's just who knows what kind of grease is in here. It looks like somebody may have used red grease on this at one time. I don't know if you can see if the color will pick up in there. Yeah, it looks like it does. Yeah, it looks like somebody's used red grease on there at one time. So let's set that down. And let's get this inner where's my rag? Boy, somebody's going to have a hairy canary over that. Yeah, I can't believe you did it that way. Hey, this grease over here is a different color. You know, we talked about that just a minute ago, about the grease being a different color. And look here. You see the red grease in here now on this side. The other side was this black goo. This is a red grease. Huh. I wonder what kind of grease that was. And then the seal, let me get rid of it. We got new seals. Alright, so let's wipe this down. Make sure we don't have any issues here. Now, we're going to come back with some emery cloth. We're going to clean this spindle up real good. We'll clean these threads up, and we'll run some emery cloth over this spindle to make sure we don't have any issues in here. So, let me go get some parts cleaned and get the hub cleaned out, and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So what I've done is in the last little bit I got all the grease cleaned up out of the hub as best I could. Some of those places you just can't get in there and reach. And fortunately there wasn't a lot of grease in there. The other thing is getting the bearings cleaned. Got to get those good and cleaned up. So we got them cleaned. I got the spindle washed down, got it cleaned. We'll get to that in just a minute. So what we're going to do now, I know there is several different ways of going about doing what I'm getting ready to do. I know that you can buy that expensive tool from DRP that shows you what kind of measurement to set, how to do. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen some people where they put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off a dozen times to get it right. And that's sort of the direction, but I'm going to fine tune it just a little bit. We're going to take a digital mic, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the inner bearing, I'm going to set it on a big socket I've got here, and I'm going to take the spindle or the hub and set it over top of it. Then we'll set our outer bearing on that, and we will measure the distance in between the two as best we can with eyeball using a mic. I got within about 0.02 when I did this side, so we're going to see if we can fine tune it a little more. I was playing around with it, playing with the adjustments, and I dialed myself out of it and had to come back to my measurement and then go back in. So I was playing around with it, kind of getting an idea how everything works. So what I'm going to do now, hopefully we can get close. But anyway, we're going to set this hub on here, and if everything goes, I have a number in my head. I think we can get really close with it, assuming everything stays the same. So let's set it down here and see what we got. Oop. Okay, I came up with 3,599. On this side, the driver's side, I came up with 3,600. And that one I ended up setting at 3,580. So I came up with about 10,000ths of it. So this one's coming up right at 3,600 as well. I don't know if you can see that or not. But so we're gonna go. We'll set our spacer here. Set you right here. We'll take this. We're going to adjust it. So let's see, that one don't have a set screw in it. I just realized that one don't have a set screw in it. Go figure, right? I'll have to get a set screw at work tomorrow. Alright, so let's grab one that does have a set screw. And see what we come up with here. Alright, let's lock this down, and then we'll go over here and see how close we are. Well, before we do that, let's clean up this spindle. Let's also give a shout out to Johnson's Products for a really good brake clean. It's cheap, does everything really well. Is it a 3M product? No, it's not. But you're not paying a 3M price for it. You just need a regular, good old-fashioned brake clean. That's it right there. One that gets the job done. Not a lot of foo-foos, not a lot of major commercialization, not a lot of... It's just a good quality product. If you can find it, get it. We sell it at our store for less than $3 a can, $2.89, $2.99, something like that a can. So I buy it by the case when I can. But anyway, good product. So go get you some Johnson's Brake Clean. Anyway, so let's go in here. The other thing I like to do is I like to take a steel brush and clean the threads up real good, run over the threads, make sure there's no trash in there. This way you don't have any issues, so when you go to set the torque on them, we'll wash them out one more time with brake clean. Run a rag over it. Okay, and then the last thing we do in prep for all this, a little bit of emery cloth. Go through and scuff your spindle snout. Take off any rust, any nicks, any burrs, anything that may hold up from getting a good read on your spindle measurement. And also, it's just a good idea in general and also your seal surface area. Go through and clean it up real good. Again, all you're doing, you're not necessarily removing any metal other than just cleaning it up real good. Hit the bottom side one more time. There. Give it a wipe down. Now, we're back at a nice clean spindle. Okay, so then what we're going to do, we're going to get our bearings and get our hub over here, and we'll get it set on here. No seals, no grease, no nothing, not at this point. We're going to take our inner bearing, go ahead and slide it up on here. We'll slide our bearing spacer up here. Leave the set screw unset. And slide up on there. And we put our outer bearing in, and we slide the whole thing up. Okay, we take our spacer washer, we'll put put it in. Slide it up in here real good, as such. We put our spindle nut on here. And our socket. Something here is not happy. What is not happy here? Well, there it goes. I guess there was a burr on it. Okay. Once you get it up, there. You snug it down. Oh, we got some clicking there. We're a little too loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. So we need to open that spacer up. Let's see. Close that spacer up. So we're just going to close it up. We're going to go down. We were at 359, 360. We'll go down to like 380 and double check it and see where we're at. I think that's going to put us pretty close to the ballpark of where we were on the other side. The other side was 37380, right in that number. So we'll take this one off, this, and let's re-mic it here. Okay, 3580. And let's put it back on here and reset everything. There. Here. Okay, so we snug it down. Still a little bit of play there to it. Just a little too much. So that was at 380. So let's go down to like 375. Yeah, 3580, so let's go to like 3575 and see where that ought to put us. That's going to put us a whole lot closer to the ballpark if that's not just a little bit on the snug side. But let's try it here and see what we get. I may end up ordering a spindle nut for this side. It just don't. It's got a tough spot in it, which I guess that could be the spindle too, or this. Okay. There's the. There. Okay. So. Good. Okay, 3575. We'll slide it back on there. Is the DRP tool any quicker, any faster? I don't know. I don't have one. But if you don't have extra money for it, this is the next best thing. And so far, all we've got is time invested in it. I don't know if there's some schmegma on that. Was out of the threads, keeping it from. It just don't act like it wants to start. There it goes. It's probably not a bad idea to order some more. Order another spindle nut, or order probably 2 spindle nuts just to have for spares, just in case. That is just ever so slight. And they give you 1 to 2 thousandths clearance range. We're at 575. We could take it down to like maybe 573. Close it up about 2 thousandths and see if that does it. Click there. We want to make sure we can get all this click out of it. There must be a bad spot on the threads on the spindle, because it gets to just one certain spot and it gets snug. We're going to wash these threads down one more time too. Okay, so let's go. There we go. There we go. So let's put everything back up here one more time. We'll double check it. And if everything is good, I just set the set screw on here. So once this is up, we don't have any issues. We'll go to the bench and we'll pack everything up with grease the way it's supposed to be. So, yeah. I'm going to have to go here shortly. I know this is taking a little longer than I anticipated, but I'm not going to cut corners with it. Now the other thing is when you pack grease into them, remember you take up space. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, when you pack grease into these, you're taking up space as well. So you'll find that once you do this, you've got just a little click here right now. Oh, and let's do this too. Now that we're set, let's give her a test spin. That's the way a hub should spin right there. Look at that. And it just keeps going. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So we got this done. Let's go pack these bearings and finish putting this hub together, and we can wrap this part of it up. Here. We'll take this. Let's go pack these up here real quick. Come on. That little stool gets rough on the butt after just a little bit. Okay. So what we've got here is we've got our DRP wheel bearing grease. Now, ultra low wheel bearing grease, Kluber, Isoflex, blah, 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 blah. Here's the interesting part. Insert needle into wheel bearing, filling every other cavity. So that means you're doing in between every other roller bearing. And this stuff is a pain in the butt. It doesn't come out thick, but it's coming through that little bitty syringe right there. And so you really got to squeeze on it to get it in there. So let's get we'll do the inner first, since it is right here in front of us. And I always like to flip it over and check the other side, make sure it went all the way through. Yep. And so on and so on. Let me see if y'all can get y'all flipped around here. Well, I'm trying to get y'all here. I don't know what y'all can see and what you can't. Keep trying to find an easier way to push this, just because it is a pain in the butt. There's no good way of grabbing onto it. One more than that one right there. This one. There's one, that's the inner. There's a fresh seal going in it. Take a urethane hammer. Okay. Now let's do the outer, and we can reassemble this hub. Okay. So let's go here. I'm still mind blown by how little of this grease it takes to do these, you know? That seems like such a little amount of grease, but if this stuff is as good as they say it is, and there we go. Another one done. So we'll flip this over, drop it. Let's go over here and put this hub back on so y'all can see the final product. Oh, okay. Alright, here we go. I'm going to have to wrap it up here really quickly because I got an appointment I've got to go to here just a little bit. So let's do this. And do that. That. Put our Yep, it's still just got that little bit of click to it. Cool. That means we are as free as we are going to get. Put our torque wrench on here. Go ahead and torque it down. That's done. And we'll put our beat up lock ring on here. Let's flatten this out just a little bit. It's kind of tweaked. Okay. Put our lock ring on here. And we'll come down here and grab our little locking screws. Let's see here. A little snuggy snug. Let's go to this side. A little snuggy snug. Wipe the inside of our grease cap down. Okay. Done. Alright, that's how we set up wheel bearing spacers. I've got 2 rears to do, but it's not going to happen right now. I have an appointment to go to. So I'm going to sign off for now. Y'all continue to watch the videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to click that little bell for notification. And this way you'll get each and every video that comes out. Meanwhile, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Wheel bearings don't just install like wheel bearings that we've always done. I know they're different now than the way I did them. I used to do them back in the day. So hopefully this high-tech thing really works out for us, because apparently it is supposed to be that's supposed to be the trick to help go fast. So y'all, thanks again for liking and watching and participating and enjoying and liking and sharing and all that other good stuff. Continue to like and share. Tell your friends about it. Pass it around. Share it on social media. Let's get some of those clicks up. Let's get some of those views, some of those likes. Let's get some subscriptions up. I really appreciate it, because I'm enjoying doing this. I hope everybody else is enjoying it. To me, this is a lot. I'm finding this is a lot of fun. Even the editing process, I'm not hating. I'm kind of enjoying it too. So anyway, thanks again. Y'all have a great rest of the day.